continue to be counted. We're going to remain vigilant, as the president said. The right to vote has been at the center of our democracy since the founding of this nation, and we're going to protect the integrity of the vote. But I really believe with all of my heart, with the extraordinary margins, Mr. President, that you've inspired,
and the way that you launched
states
this
that you just
movement
described,
across the country,
and the way that you launched this movement
I
across the
truly do
country to
believe,
make
as you
America
do,
great again.
that we are on
I truly do believe, as you do, that we are on the road to victory, and we will make America great again. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much,
Here you go, President Trump speaking tonight from the White House. Final thoughts, Sean Spicer.
I think first 60% of what he said was perfect. You know, Mark said it earlier. He said a lot of right tone. I think he gave the media a gift. The morning show's looking for that quote. Yeah. That was the question that Mark asked earlier. They're going to take that. He declared earlier. He said to go into the Supreme Court. Look, he's got a path to 270. He should have, he should stay focused on that. He can't give the media who are wrong tonight such a gift, right? Mm-hmm. Stay focused on winning Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin, and then take the 270. But don't give the Democrats, the left, another reason to have an excuse to ignore how wrong they were tonight.
And Mark, how much of this is in the hands of the lawyers and how much of it is in the hands of President Trump and the perception that he projects from here until we do have a decision?
This is now four-dimensional chess. There's the legal battle. There's the political battle at the level of the politicians. There is the PR battle. And then there's the grassroots battle. How do the American people, who, regardless of who they voted for, how do they handle this over the next few days, potentially weeks? This is going to be a fraught moment. And I agree with Sean. It was unfortunate for the president, I think, for his own political interests and for the country, for him to take it in the direction of making this about grievance. Although he is right. What happened with the networks stopping their projections was unprecedented and is going to anger a lot of Republicans.
So I just got a text from one of our colleagues who was saying in the middle of that speech, during NBC News' coverage, Savannah Guthrie was cutting in to try to fact check him. Again, it's like they just can't stop. And this just shows the problem. They don't want to, it's almost like they want to ignore.
And so to me, what we're hearing again and again and again is the whining and the crying. And frankly, these are the types of things that has made me pretty upset over time, right? Because it's now going to be this drawn out battle for the American people to watch being displayed before us. I'm so glad. I'm absolutely I'm amazed. I am totally amazed at the fact that if it has not been called, it's not been called, right? And so here we are now, knowing and understanding exactly it is all a joke. It's as if now you're going to drag this out all the way and wait until it goes to this point and that point. And now we're going to have the BLMers out in the middle of the road arguing and yelling and burning up and pillaging the rest of the nation. That's exactly what I feel is going to happen. Then we're going to also have all of the other people angry and upset. We're going to have a hot rump mess. And I believe that somewhere along the line, there's got to be somebody with the script. Yeah. I don't know who's got the script, but somebody has the script to this mess. This is absolutely a mess. And I, for one, feel as if the American people have been drugged through the mud. We have had enough mayhem. We've had enough of this stuff going on. We've had the virus. We've had everything happening. And to sit here and watch him, as you, may or may not have done, go basically and say, oh, well, we're going to go to court. Well, I mean, come on now. Even in a normal situation, even under normal circumstances, we would have still had to wait a couple of more hours before they truly and honestly called it. I don't know how many people set up on during the time where we were voting with the whole Gore situation back in the day, or even 2016. We were all there. You know what? You are so right, Sandra. Yes, 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 yes. You know, I'm like, it's a hello, wake up call. How are you, Gerald? I'm just amazed at how we are being so easily manipulated. We are being manipulated, and Americans are being played, whether we voted for him or not. I'm like, come on, man. You did not even have to come out and say what you said. Just let the votes come in and let's move forward. But I guess somebody thought that it was a tactical thing to do and to come and tell him, to tell all of us, well, it's okay. We're just going to go to court. I won this. I won this. Hey, look, we saw, if you were watching viable news channels, which are very few and in between right now, we did see, the numbers changing right before us. However, I feel as if now that the numbers for the the electoral college, those numbers were going off the chain, they were going off the radar. Listen, we already know that the whole system has liars on both sides. I don't understand why, if he was going to try to make sure that things were done right, why he did not do all this safeguarding long before right now. You knew good and well when they came up talking about all the ballots and all that other stuff. I am too. You know what, Ed? I am so done. I feel like, thank God, I told you guys before that I was not going to vote this time. I told you guys I wasn't. And I'm glad that I did not. Because can you imagine having had this as the situation and as the incident of at hand? That's my sister calling me from the UK. I already know what she's gonna say. But but the issue is that, okay, fine. Now you went out and you voted, you did your civic duty if you did, and there's no problem with that. You have a right to vote if you chose to. I just told you guys why I chose not to, right? But can you imagine, had I gone out today and done that, I would have had to driven for several hours because of where I'm registered and another place that I live in another state. I would have had to go there and I would have had to vote, and then I would have had to wait. I would have been so ticked off. But listen to this, it is complete and utter robbery, because he has already heard Pelosi say what she's going to do. He has already heard her say that she was basically going to have him drug out in the middle of the street, which is nothing more than a coup. The whole entire 4 years has been an attempt at a coup against this person, right? And so now we're going to be drug out a little bit further, but now this thing could go on well beyond December. Why? Because you and I both know, if you're looking at a court docket, okay, courts are going to be closed during Thanksgiving, and then they're going to be back open for about 2 weeks. Then they're going to be closed again for Christmas. And who's to say that this thing is not going to drag out until well after January, when this woman has already proclaimed that she is going to take the military in there and get him out of there. He has all of those electoral college votes. Okay? He's got all of those votes right now. Now, who you think Nancy Pelosi gonna support? Think about that. It does not matter if he wants to wait and go to court. You're not dealing with, people who are not criminally insane. A lot of them need to be removed. I don't understand it. And little old grandmother, 56, you know what I'm saying, 13 grandkids, what I'm gonna do. You know what I mean? I just wish that there was a way that we could just figure out how to just ask everybody to politely get out of the house. Just, you're in the White House. Okay, I just want everybody out. All right. And we can find some great people to just go in there and do their thing. I know that seems a bit elementary. You know what I'm saying? Yes, they are. And you are the woman tonight, Sandra. This morning. Sandra is the woman this morning. But I'm just disgusted. I'm disgusted. He says, if you aren't a lion ass crook and can't be manipulated, blackmailed, or bribed, or and coerced, you'll never make it in DC. Ed, I gotta tell you, you ain't lying, my friend. You are not lying. Hey girl, I was trying to call you to tell you to come on here with me because I could not believe what I just saw. Did you just see the president? Did you just see? It is a play. That is exactly what I said a few minutes ago, Sharon. I said just a few minutes ago, this is like, who wrote the script? Where is the script? There's got to be a playwright or somebody somewhere that has this script. Because to me, I don't understand what he just did. I don't understand it. It just seems to escape me. Black Spring, pick this up, girl, because I cannot believe this. Pick this up. I cannot believe I am too. I am too. I am too. And this is gonna drag on. I cannot see. Look, listen, the thing that people don't understand right now is this cat is being backed by some pretty corrupt folk. Well, all of them are, really, right? Okay, so they all are. But his attorneys, they all know which judges they got and what they got and all that. Okay? Yes, they need to get rid of Pelosi. They sure do. But you know what? I truly believe that somebody paying somebody. Like we were saying earlier, there are some flies in the buttermilk. There are some flies in the buttermilk. Yes, we are being so played. We are. We are, Melinda. We are. And Sharon, you're in the UK. That's where my sister is. And it is unbelievable. But you guys, I'm just so shocked at what they've done in the UK, how they relocked everybody down. You know what I'm saying? I'm so glad you did too, Ed. And I'm just sitting up here I'm just like, I'm just, I don't know. Have you ever just sat around a table with all your friends and something happens and you guys just look at each other and it's just to the point where everybody's looking and everybody's thinking the same thing? That's how I feel about you guys right now. I feel like we all sit around a table together and we all say like we playing cards or something, right? And we all looking at our hand and everybody knows something happened to these cards because this is too good to be true. And you looking at me and I'm looking at you, but we all looking like, oh, something ain't right. Something ain't right. Something ain't right at all. This is a big plan. And I truly believe that we the ones being played in this plan. We are being played. We are being set up. That's what we are being. We are being set up for something. They're about to lower the boom somehow, some way. That's all I know. But you guys remember Black Spring. I'm not sure if you picked up that link yet, but I put it in the chat for you. And what I was going to say was, I'm sorry, you guys, my sinuses are draining. I had a tooth problem, and so my sinuses are draining down. But what I have been saying was, if they let him win, I know you guys probably heard us earlier on Black Springs channel. If they let him win, I believe this man has been purchased. I believe that Biden has been purchased. I believe that not only has he been purchased, but they said, okay, we just want to use your persona, your face, and your body temporarily. We know you're tired. We know you don't want to deal with any more politics, but just let us use you to pull her in. I said that earlier tonight. Okay? Yeah, didn't see that coming. Tom, you see what I'm saying? I believe that's what they said. I believe they told him, listen, you go on ahead. Let us use your persona and your face and your name and your history of it and all that stuff. We're going to pull you somebody that we want you to run with. And then as soon as you get in there, all we're going to do is make her be the president and you can go ahead on and bounce. I said that tonight. I said it last week and I'm going to say it again till the cows come home. I truly believe that's what it is. Yes. Yes, Melinda, and we do. She said, I spent the whole day fasting. Here we go. I spent the whole day fasting and praying. Something big is coming and we need to stand strong. That's absolutely right. That is absolutely right. And Sandra, to your point in California, how many times have we set up way past midnight waiting for a final count? You know, we've waited for a final count in California way past 12 a.m. Okay? We really have. And so I've never seen anything like this in all my days. And I am totally, totally, totally amazed. Girl, did you see that?
No.
You should have seen I was dialing your number, Black Spring. I was like, oh my God, you got to see this. He actually basically, and I'm going to paraphrase, I don't know if I can play that over. I wonder if I can play that over. You can play a live back, can't you? Like if you go in, yep, Sandra, absolutely. Absolutely. That's right. That is right. I think you can go back to a live and punch it back, right? I want you to see what he said, Black Spring. I can't tell you. I just can't. If I try, you would never believe it. You would
Okay.
you would never believe me. You would never believe me. Crybaby say, I am that word. She said
Hi.
she's ticked off and she's not gonna take it anymore. But let me show you this, Black Spring. You are not going to believe this. I was sitting up and waiting to hear what he had to say, because I'm tripping. I'm not tripping. I'm like, okay, well, I got you. I understand. I ain't going to trip with you tonight. I'm going to hear what you got to say because I had already seen Sleepyhead come out and that looked like the real him. That looked just like it was the real him. Let me go ahead and go back. If I can go back to where he was, I'm going to try. I'm digging around over here, you guys. Let me turn this thing on mute so that you guys can't hear while I'm digging around fishing. But Black Spring, I don't know what I just saw. I really promise I do not know what that was. And let me show it to you. Hopefully they kept it in their show. It doesn't look like they did. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, we'll see here. I'm going to go all the way back. But the big mistake that he made was coming out basically saying, well, we're just going to go to court and we're just going to make sure that, they do it right because they did wrong. They stopped counting and channels stopped reporting the news and the numbers. He literally got on there and basically said, we'll see you in court. That's exactly what he did. We will see you in court is primarily what he just got up and said to the American people. What are you talking about? Can you believe that?
Well, I can't. I can, but I can't. I don't want to believe it. I'm in a state of
Disbelief,
it's yes.
shock,
I'm shocked.
awe.
Yeah. I need to catch up.
Well, here, let me see if because I'm already at the 50. Here we go. Okay, I'm gonna pause it right here. I'm gonna bring it here, and for this I need you, and then I'm gonna go right here and I'm gonna pause it. See, I'm learning how to work this stuff. I'm learning how to work it, girl. I am
I
learning.
know.
I'm learning, baby. Okay, so let's see. Share the screen, and then I want to share the audio, and then I'm gonna come up here and click this tab, and I want you guys to see it. And I'm gonna run back on the other side and click start. Okay, so let's see. Let's see. Is he coming out yet? Let me unmute him.
Been the leader in checking.
It's not an easy thing to do. It takes a lot of
Okay.
maneuvering with the website.
You guys,
But
I'm
he's doing
gonna
very well.
punch it
In
up
Clayton
some.
County with 84% in, Biden's got 85% of the vote to 14 for Donald. You guys want to do that or not? But we were taking a nice little look at Michigan.
Okay, there
and you
he
see
is,
53
right
to 46.
there.
He had 3 faithless electors that went there saying, Mr. President, look, we've got a path to 270. This is where you are right now.
Great state of Ohio. We won Texas. We won Texas. We won Texas by 700,000 votes, and they don't even include it in the tabulations. It's also clear that we have won Georgia. We're up by 2.5% or
I think that's backfiring now.
117,000 votes with only 7% left. They're never going to catch us. They can't catch us.
Thank you.
Likewise, we've clearly won
Can you hear it?
North Carolina.
Yeah, you're good. Thanks for taking the time.
4%.
Girl, you just had to
Or
hear this.
77,000 votes with only approximately 5% left. They can't catch us. We also, if you look and you see Arizona, we have a lot of life in that. And somebody declared that it was a victory for, and maybe it will be. I mean, that's possible. But certainly there were a lot of votes out there that we could get because we're now just coming into what they call Trump territory. I don't know what you call it, but these were friendly Trump voters. And that could be overturned. The gentleman that called it, I watched tonight. He said, well, we think it's fairly unlikely that he could catch. Well, fairly unlikely. And we don't even need it. We don't need that. That was just a state that if we would have gotten it, it would have been nice, Arizona. But there's a possibility, maybe even a good possibility. In fact, since I saw that originally, it's been changed and the numbers have substantially come down just in a small amount of votes. So we want that obviously to stay in play. But most importantly, we're winning Pennsylvania by a tremendous amount of votes. We're up 600. Think of this. Think of this. Think of this. We're up 690,000 votes in Pennsylvania. 690,000. These aren't even close. It's not like, oh, it's close. With 64% of the vote in, it's going to be almost impossible to catch. And we're coming into good Pennsylvania areas where they happen to like your president. I mean, it's like, so we'll probably expand that. We're winning Michigan, but I'll tell you, I looked at the numbers. I said, whoa. I said, wow, that's a lot. By almost 300,000 votes, and 65% of the vote is in. And we're winning Wisconsin, so we're winning. We don't need all of them. We need, because when you add Texas in, which wasn't added, I spoke with the really wonderful governor of Texas just a little while ago, and Greg Abbott, he said, congratulations. He called me to congratulate me on winning Texas. I mean, we won Texas. I don't think they finished quite the tabulation, but there's no way. And it was almost complete, but he congratulated me. Then he said, by the way, what's going on? I've never seen anything like this. Can I tell you what? Nobody has. So we won by 107,000 votes with 81% of the vote. That's Michigan. So when you take those three states in particular, and you take all of the others, I mean, we have so many, we had such a big night. You just take a look at all of these states that we've won tonight. And then you take a look at the kind of margins that we've won them by. And all of a sudden, it's not like we're up 12 votes and we have 60% left. We won states, and all of a sudden, I said, what happened to the election? It's off. And we have all these announcers saying, what happened? And then they said, oh, because you know what happened? They knew they couldn't win. So they said, let's go to court. And did I predict this, Newt? Did I say this? I've been saying this from the day I heard they were going to send out tens of millions of ballots. I said exactly, because either they were going to win, or if they didn't win, they'll take us to court. So Florida was a tremendous victory, 377,000. Texas, as we said. Ohio, think of this. Ohio, a tremendous state, a big state. I love Ohio. We won by 8.1%, 461. Think of it. Almost 500,000 votes. North Carolina, big victory with North Carolina. And so we won there. We lead by 76,000 votes with almost nothing left. And all of a sudden, everything just stopped. This is a fraud on the American public. This is an embarrassment to our country. We were getting ready to win this election. Frankly, we did win this election. We did win this election. So our goal now is to ensure the integrity for the good of this nation. This is a very big moment. This is a major fraud in our nation. We want the law to be used in a proper manner. So we'll be going to the U.S. Supreme Court. We want all voting to stop. We don't want them to find any ballots at 4 o'clock in the morning and add them to the list, okay? It's a very sad moment. To me, this is a very sad moment. And we will win this. And we, as far as I'm concerned, we already have won it. So I just want to thank you. And I want to thank all of our support. I want to thank all of the people that worked with us. And Mr. Vice President, say a few words, please. Please.
Thank you, Mr. President. I want to join you in thanking more than 60 million Americans who have already cast their vote for 4 more years for President Donald Trump in the White House. And while the votes continue to be counted, we're going to remain vigilant, as the president said. The right to vote has been at the center of our democracy since the founding of this nation, and we're going to protect the integrity of the vote. But I really believe with all of my heart, with the extraordinary margins, Mr. President, that you've inspired in the states that you just described, and the way that you launched this movement across the country to make America great again, I truly do believe, as you do, that we are on the road to victory and we will make America great again. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much.
There you go, President Trump speaking.
All right. So that was the blue tie Trump and Pence. I had to say blue tie, boo boo. I had to say blue tie Black Spring. I could not resist. But I want to tell you that I am so A, I'm happy I didn't vote, but B, I am so sad to see our nation come to such a place where we, the people, are being played. We are being played. That's exactly what this
Yeah.
is. What do you think about that now that you got a chance to see it?
Well, it's it's discouraging. It's more than discouraging, but am I surprised? I'm not totally surprised, but as I've been saying for a while, I think that, this was something that we were watching. It was like watching some kind of a train wreck, or watching the Titanic, watching the collision, and you were powerless to stop it. You might slow it down, you might drip, 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 drip on your way, but this is just, I said this before, this is why I think people get really, they just kind of disconnect, and they just, look, I don't want to deal with this. And I didn't see that I didn't see that. I didn't really understand it. I didn't really know where those sentiments came from. But you can't it's really getting hard to hear that we're such a lawful nation, and we have so many values, and we have all of these institutions, and then we end up with this. This country is so divided. And I'm going to be honest, I don't think it'll never be, I don't think it'll be whole again. I don't. It can't, it's hard. It's at the point of, it's hard to come back from something like this. We've had everything tested, over the last, 8 months. We've had the faith in the medical, and, in the industries, in the health industries tested. The media, we've had the faith in that to be tested. And look at our process.
Mhm.
It's just, I don't want to use the word rigged.
Come on, but I will. It's real. I ain't ashamed. I ain't scared of it. I'm gonna come out right out and say it. And I feel like we're at that age. And when I say age, I don't mean our chronological age. I mean, we are in the age of a time where we better be honest. And you know what I'm saying? We got to just come on with it. I understand what's at risk when we are being honest in this particular type of forum. But I have resigned myself to say, if I can't be honest, then I don't want to be. You feel me?
Yes,
And
yes.
so for me right now, I could not resist it. At first, I was waiting to hear what he had to say. I thought it was just going to do their normal spiel, come on at this time of the night and say, well, we're going to just wait and see what the numbers are. They'll be finished counting and blah, blah, blah. And I just want to thank everybody for supporting me. Bloop de bloop. I was expecting to hear something. I was like, okay, yo, cool. Good night. Girl, when this cat came up and said, and the Electoral College, Ed is hitting it right now. Listen, and somebody else just said it. I think my girl Sandra, either Sandra or Melinda, they're all so brilliant. I mean, they all been saying some pretty good, truthful. Girl, when I tell you they are so truthful, these are the best followers on the planet. They are so right on point and laser specific with what they are saying, because these things that they're saying in the chat right now tonight, this is what everybody in the US is saying, even if they don't want to admit it to them, to their friends or family. Okay? And look here, Happy Free Content said, well, it might be better to split into regions anyway. You know what I mean? Hey, who knows? Listen, Melinda just said these people have completely thrown away our Constitution and our Bill of Rights. Our ancestors are turning over in their graves. True facts. Ed just said, he's on the screen. Look into the whole electoral college setup. It's definitely not what my political science teacher and intro, to POF taught. As Americans, we need to educate ourselves before all of the information is removed. He is so right. They are going in, removing the information. You know what? And I'm going to say it publicly because I have some work that I was doing on a girl that started Planned Parenthood. And at one point, they actually came out and removed her from their entire website. And they publicly said the reason why they were doing it was because, they didn't want the negative connotation. Now, what y'all trying to do is show that this lady who was an evil person is the reason why you've got all of these Planned Parenthood places, and you want to try to make it to be out somebody else. You want to make it be somebody else, right? So the nation is being stripped of our history. And what did we say? I don't even know if it's on here or is it on my website, but there is an audio that I did, a podcast, and it was back in 2017. I think it's here. I think I have it here. But I was mad because I was like, wait a minute. They're taking all of the monuments down? They're doing what? I get it. I understand. I'm no idiot. I know what our country has suffered through. But to me, keep that stuff up, because if you don't keep it up, you won't remember. And if you don't remember, you are going to repeat it. So keep everything the way that it is. And then I said, wait a minute. The only reason why they would take it all down is because somebody else is about to come in, move on in. You look at every country where those things have been taken down, monuments and frames and pictures of people and leaders who used to be, and they have taken and done a coup and gotten rid of all of anything that reminds you of them. And that's the things that are done. Those are the things that are done when you are taking over. And that is what has happened. That is what has happened. And when you look at the number of electoral votes that Biden has right now, standing the way it is, the statement that the president just made could not have played into the hands of the G's any better. Okay, Sandra? Couldn't have played in their hands any better. They just played right in their hands. That's what they did. He just handed it over. Okay? He handed the whole thing over. What's your take, Black Spring? Is you sleep?
Sorry, I'm still. Yeah, this is what it gets to be for me. Sometimes I just want people to just get right to the point when they say something, but I just think that I'm more than discouraged right now, and I it's just I don't know. I'm saying this cannot stand. But this is what I'm not going to say, oh, I warned everybody. This is exactly what I was concerned about. I feared the most that this is going to be a situation where they're going to put the people through all of this division and all of this unrest on some level, the emotional unrest that we've had. And then we're going to get to this point, and then what? Then to still watch this play out, either in the streets or in a courtroom, and then what? What if, and then, but then where is there going to be a concession? Are we going to see arrest that man? No, arrest him. What, you see what I'm
Man,
saying? Like,
sometimes
who
I,
has the loyalty of the military in a situation? Do you
oh
understand what I'm
girl,
saying?
yes, but do you remember? Now look here, they drop breadcrumbs for us all the time because Miss Pelosi already set that up. Do you remember when they were talking about, what if because he's sick, he's got the illness or whatever? What are you going to do? And she goes, well, that's for the military to play out. Oh, I mean, that's for the government to decide. I said, she just made a Freudian slip. She just made a Freudian slip when he was in the hospital having the services done for him for the illness, the candy bar thing, whatever. We know what we're trying to use the word now. Hey, C Mac, do you know what I'm talking about? When he was in the hospital the very next day after he came out, or after he went in, she came out and they were talking to her and they were asking her questions about what she was going to do. Do you remember that? When she came out and she said basically,
Yes, I do. I remember that.
okay, so
I
that's
remember.
what they're trying to tell us. They are trying to let us know, Black Spring, that there's about to be something real messy going on. It's going to be something messy going on. Tomorrow is the 4th, and everybody was prepared for tomorrow to find out what exactly it was that we were going to be looking at. And well, I should say today is the 4th.
It
Okay.
is.
Today is the 4th. And so we already know what we're going to be looking at. But here's the deal with where those numbers stand as far as the electoral college votes are concerned, and with the fact that they've not finished counting, even though we all know that if things were all equal, there would be no way for them to say that Pennsylvania belonged to anybody else other than Trump, simply because he has closer to 600 or 700,000 votes above Biden at this point. But now we can do the math and we can discern, or we can figure out that the majority of those ballots that have just been not counted, we cannot say that 100% of those votes will go to either Biden or to Trump. And so we'd have to be able to say that a great portion of those would have to go to him too. So we would say that it's a wrap. Pennsylvania will belong to him. But now by stopping it, he's not only stopped it, okay, but he's also given them opportunity to take said ballots. Throw out the ones they don't want, because you're not dealing with people who are honest, okay? You're giving them opportunity to take those ballots and throw them. You know what, Sandra? I ain't gonna play with you tonight, girl, because I think you got you got a heck of a point. You see what I'm saying? I don't know. I think that see.
Something is looking a little. I'm telling you, this is, to me, there's just a little bit too much of a design, too much design here by design. You talked about the breadcrumbs. And they've been telling, I think the whole time they've been telling us exactly what was going to happen. And would that be along the lines of conspiracy? But
I
no.
don't think we are looking at a conspiracy. I think that that they who have conspired to trick us, they the ones. It ain't us. I think for me, the way that I feel right now is, I thank you, God, that I did not put my name on a ballot for any one of these human beings. And there are going to be people that I love, who love God, who are going to be saying, well, we're going to pray, we're going to do this for him to do XYZ. What I prayed And what I have been praying was, Father, let your will be done and expose everything that is not of you. Just expose it. Why? Because that's where we got our power. That's it. That is all. And even though we, and I'll say collectively we, okay, because I may not have personally voted, but I'm going to say we as Americans have voted today or yesterday. They still, people who went out and voted did what they had the right to do. And they deserve to have a fair and balanced election. The people who went out and voted have the right to have a fair and balanced election that is without snares, that's without all this taint, that is without all of this, stuff all over it. Oh, Ed, we love you too, precious one. You dear soul. Father, please bless Ed and keep his family and keep everybody safe that Ed knows. Thank you. Let's see, Tree Gig 7. Okay, I'm going to write that down. I hope that's you. Oh, okay. It'll be giving me somebody else. I'll be like, hello, do you need your car fixed? So it is yours. Okay, cool beans. So right, you know what, we don't have to have there. He said it right there. I'm gonna put that there too. Ed, thank you so much for coming, precious dear. I so appreciate you. And you guys, we all need to go ahead on and get into bed because this has been. We're gonna all take a tip from Ed. All of us need to go get into bed. I done pulled out a CVS receipt to write Ed's email down on. Lord knows they long enough. I love you too, baby. So yeah, but you know what, you guys, none of y'all that's in the chat that have voted tonight, don't you guys dare have any fear. Don't you feel upset that you voted. Do not feel used. Let me tell you something. We are God's little ones, right? He takes care of us. He looks after us. And hold on a minute. He's not deceived. He knows what's up. Okay. This thing right here is done for a purpose. What purpose? We don't know, but we do know that it is a part of a bigger plan. But guess what? We know the end of the story. We know who reigns, and we know who protects us. We know who holds our future. And that, my friends, can't nobody take away. Nobody can take that away from us. Okay. Let's see. That guy, Mark, the prophet fireman, says, "We'll be surprised." What, somebody said that? Who's Mark? What, is somebody in the chat or somebody else named Mark? The prophet fireman. The prophet fireman. Oh, I love you so much, you guys. And C Mac, I love you, darling. You guys, let me before we get out of here, because I know you tired, Black Spring, because we did yours was a 3-hour one we did earlier. It was, but I just had to come back after I saw that. That's why I was like, at first I did a small little bitty live and I was like, you guys going over there to that channel and watch it. But then after I saw that, I said, yo, whoa, wait a minute, what did what did he just say? I'm like, no, he didn't just say that. So you guys, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get into bed, all of us. Unless you at work watching it, don't go to bed. Go and finish your shift. But for us who hey, praise God, somebody got a job under these circumstances right now. But I just wrote Ed's email down. And I appreciate you guys all so much for kicking it with us for this little bit of time here. But like I said, I had to come on and let you guys all see what was going on, because a lot of people don't know about Newsmax. I learned about Newsmax through Black Spring, and then when I got over there, I realized that I had already subscribed to them. But thank you for bringing it to my attention, my soul sister. Okay, you guys, yes. I love y'all. Y'all sleep good and just trust God, you guys. This stuff, God already got this. None of this took him by surprise. But if they drag this man out of that White House in effigy, I'm not going I just don't understand it. He already know this lady got him. He already noticed. Why would you set yourself up? Don't you know that little wicked woman don't care about no humans? She don't care about him. She gonna drag his rump out of there with the military. Okay? All right, y'all. Let's go to bed. Y'all go to bed. Say your prayers. Trust God. Drink your water. Drink your water. I've been drinking my water. I'm trying to, get better. I love all y'all. I love you, Black Spring. Thank you, boo.
Thank you.
Okay, y'all sleep good. Night-night.
Good night, guys.